What's also interesting is that you see, for example, Damascus, right? In the Crusades, it wasn't really like, so it was more or less nations of Christianity versus what were essentially city-states of the Muslim world around here, because they were just that big. Like Damascus itself, obviously they were called like, you know, the Beylik of Damascus and that sort of thing, but it was centered around one sort of city. It's just the Muslims at that time were so ridiculously fractured. I say at that time, at this time. So imagine like this is the Seljuks. This is kind of what the Muslim world looked like at that point. It wasn't really controlled that heavily by anyone. So yeah, in fact, they sort of welcomed the Crusaders as like a new geopolitical tool they could use. And also, if you ever read the accounts of the First Crusade, they are like pretty goddamn funny, because no one really expected them to win, least of all the Crusaders themselves. Like they would have just the most insane luck and like weird assaults. Like they were holed up in Damascus, for example, at one point, right? And they're trapped because I think his name was, Zangi, had them like surrounded. And so they're half starved and they pretend to find, well, one of the guys pretend to find like the Holy Lance, right? So they find this Holy Lance and they're like, it's a sign, we should attack. And so they sort of stumble out of the gates, half starved, and just sort of charge. And for whatever reason, there was a mass rout. And we're still not sure why that happened. It could have been because there was a fire started on the eastern flank. And that, for whatever reason, might have been a signal to retreat, and so some people thought the battle was lost. So they just legged it. And so the Muslims they just absolutely just they're headed away.